So what is bitachon? Bitachon is not, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared. Right? If you find a person, you walk into a room and someone's there and they're saying, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, what's the one thing you know for sure? They're terrified. That's not what bitachon means. Bitachon means the same way that now we can, the Alter Rebbe talks about this in terms of Avas Hashem and having, and going throughout our day in terms of, let's say, ultimately behaving like a Beinoni because challenges come up and maybe in the moment we don't have time to go through a whole meditation and whatever it is. But if we've been doing the work and we've been spending the time on an ongoing basis working on these things, and we put in the work in the morning to whatever extent we were able to and was realistic, then when something comes up in the moment, you can't create a genuine, complex, deep love of Hashem in a second or in a minute. That's impossible. But what we can do is awaken or recall or remind ourselves of that love that we have inside because we've been working on it and developing it for days, weeks, months, years, for our whole life. So the project is to the actions, the tasks are for Avas Hashem, learn, understand, connect, internalize, integrate, feel. And when we do those things, that's going to result in a phenomenon that will emerge, which is love for Hashem. And the same way that that's something that we build up and it becomes bigger and bigger. It's not a black and white, yes or no, 100 or 0%. It's something that we work on and it can become bigger and bigger and more complex and more, deeply developed, etc. And the more of that we have done, the more of a love for Hashem that we have inside that we are able to tap into in a moment when we really need the support of that love for Hashem. So no, we can't create love for Hashem in just a moment, but if we've been doing the work, if we've been working on this project, then the outcome, the product is there, it just may have slipped beneath the surface for the moment, and so we can recall it. So there is such a thing as in a moment of fear, in a very real way, even in the context of someone who sees bitachon as a project that they're working on, in a moment when maybe they feel fear, and let's say this is someone who is looking at bitachon as an antidote to fear, they might be able to say, oh, hang on a second, remember bitachon? Yeah, let me just take a minute, think about what... The difference between, let's say, the person who's saying, I'm afraid, I have bitachon, who most likely is actually terrified, versus the person who has been working on bitachon on an ongoing basis, they're invested in this project, and then in that moment, what they're going to do is, they don't have to say to themselves, have bitachon, or I'm not scared. What they can do is pause for a moment, and remember bitachon? Where does that come from? What's it based on? And if it's something that we're working on, especially on an ongoing basis, the ideas and the picture that they generate in that perspective can arise and can come to the forefront relatively quickly. And then the outcome is that we're going to feel bitachon. So yes, having bitachon can be something that we can do in a moment, if we're invested in the project, because then we have the actual bitachon to whatever degree we've managed to make progress, and then we can call on that in the moment. But a person who's not working on bitachon as an ongoing thing, as a project, a big long-term project, and it's just like, oh, have bitachon. Okay, Hashem's going to save me, Hashem's going to save me. I think it's fair to say, basically what that boils down to is denial. It's denying the fear, it's suppressing the fear, it's pretending the fear is not there, it's ignoring it, it's shutting it in a box. But it's not producing an outcome of actually feeling secure and safe and unconcerned. So ultimately, really what bitachon is a perspective, a view, a perception of reality. And having bitachon is a project that we produce, or it's a project that we work on by Number one, learning all the things that are true about bitachon and how it works, why it works, etc. And then number two, doing, that's the chachma and the bina, but the real work is in the das. It's in the internalizing, in the connecting, the integrating, the feeling, rather than just knowing, the bringing it down from here into here. Because fear is in here, it's not in here.